Okay, talking about the top wrist lock, Americani, Udigarami, you know, a billion friggin' names for it, and all the variations. Going to talk about a lot of variations now. Typical top wrist lock, step 1, pin it to the mat. Step 2, elbow him in the face and the neck. Oh yeah, ref didn't see it. Step 3, weave it in. Step 4, pull it down to the ribs, stack it in, everything's tight. Step 5, you can lift. That's the beginner way. In reality, you always want to just grab once you're better, when you're higher rank, whatever, and you're in a teeter-totter. The hand goes down the mat, the elbow comes up. It's about counter torsion, counter rotation. I'm stirring his joint. Boom, like this. So, while this is good to stack in, and big guys would tap right there, I'm really just, while I'm pulling it down the mat, I'm here. Or I can even lift my elbow. Yeah, see his butt come off the ground? Because I was going to rip it, like if I was going to break it on the street. I lifted my elbow above his ribs. Okay, see that? If I really want to break something, I can break his forearm. I can throttle out, pull this in, and eventually he's tapping already, but it puts a lot more torsion right here, Right here, I can get a compound fracture on both bones. So this is dangerous. You really shouldn't do that in training fast. That should just be a slow style lock. Boom, okay? Roller lock style. A lot of times, I might just get this, like a praying mantis, and go in there. Sorry. Here. See? So when you're better, you can kind of learn how to play with stuff, even if I don't keep the hand on the mat. As a beginner, you should keep the back of the hand paintbrush style, paint this hand, Mr. Miyagi, down the mat. But when you're more experienced, you can just counter-rotate the lock. Okay? I might even get them deep enough here to grab the hand, and now I can V-arm lock style, V-arm lock, Shudo style, and I like to just pull here, pull this down, and stretch. This is like a separator. It can break the collarbone, it can break the AC joint. I can even here, or I can sit my hips out, or I can sit my hips out and drag. See, I drag my butt back. Some people teach that style in Shudo lock flow. They'll come here with it, moving my butt back. Now, since I already have this grip established, I made up my own lock here, combination wrist lock and a bit of a shoulder lock, the old catch key lock style. I'm gonna wrap, double wrap here, and now I got the wrist lock on him already. He's tapping to, put your butt down. And then I'll lift the shoulder as well. So he's tapping to the wrist lock, but eventually I can also be cranking that shoulder lock. So I'm here for the V-arm lock. Sorry, whoop, I got this grip. And maybe we're fighting in here. I managed to get this on him. Now, I'm gonna try this. Let's say he was really flexible. I just had one of my students, his neck was super flexible in this position. So he actually wouldn't tap to this. Then you can insert key lock style. Grab your own elbow, shoulder. And see, I'm already, by grabbing behind my tricep, my elbow, it's gonna, yeah. See, look right here, guys, it's a gooseneck wrist lock on him if I pull that in. Sorry, one more, so here. Now I got my base heavier on his chest. Now I'm not trying to tap him as much with the wrist lock as I'm rotating his shoulder. You see, so I'm gonna get the wrist lock first on a lot of people, but I had another student who could put his hand all the way to like here. That's why it's good that it's a dual submission style. So all these variations on this kind of top wrist lock are important to know. And you can, you know, I talked about earlier, if I really wanted to rip it, I could lift my elbow instead of to his hip. I could lift the elbow here and whip this sucker. See him defending himself, lifting his hips. But I could, if I was tight and I ripped it here, things are going to be breaking the shoulder and the forearm possibly. While I'm in here, sometimes you can even come in and put some pressure, turn it out, throttle it out, come in here, put some pressure on the throat while I'm breaking the elbow, shoulder, sorry. So there's some catch wrestling style for you guys. And of course, all these locks also work. If I go to Kazuri Case and Katami, I just made a video on how to go to the top mounted Crucifix. All these locks apply. Here, top mounted Crucifix, okay? Or if I went to a triangle on his head and everything else. So I could do all these kind of locks. I could do everything from here, the top mounted Crucifix, okay? And if I needed to, suck this up, boom, put them in the triangle, and then work all that, even though I didn't fully get a triangle. So just keep that in mind. You can pull all this stuff from the top mounted Crucifix and with the triangle as well. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Practice those locks. They're very dangerous, some of them, so go slow. The double wrist lock, aka Kamura, was known as the double wrist lock in Udi Garami way before a guy named Kamura carnivaled and traveled to Brazil and beat Helio, broke his arm with it. Anyway, double wrist lock, various ways of doing it. I have a special way in half guard, I have a rocker way, I probably won't get to that today. But typical way, I'm just gonna grab and make my double wrist lock grip. As far as thumbless, no one's ever broken my thumb. I've been grappling 20 years. Grab that sucker in reality, grab it, and then maybe thumbless on top. I don't have to do this, even if I was bottom and he had gravity. I've only had someone actually hurt my thumb a little bit where I had to change my grip once in 20 years of grappling. So grab it, own it, okay? First basic way, a lot of times we go to this from transitions, like a upa sweep from guard, hip bump sweep. I'm gonna put my knee here to the middle, I'm gonna sit back, post over his head, and take the hand to the back of the head. The best range of motion is small banana to the back of the head. Hammer lock, omoplata, whatever it is, okay? So I'm here, I grab, I'm gonna bring the knee in for a little balance and to get space for my leg to come over his head. Here, post, rock. Now I don't go so far where he could, if he was strong, he could bridge into me, but I'm just here controlling and then there for my finish. Okay, and now, if he defends and he grabs his shorts or he grabs his hands together. So I'm getting the lock and he's starting to get something here, and I'm trying to get him. Number one, I can fight the grip and rip. Don't fight against the material, don't fight against his hands. Push, pull, yank, and then I can start to work. And this time I'll take his hand to his armpit, just to show a different way of finishing. Take the hand in the armpits also. Okay, I could also throttle, before we get to that, I could also throttle. I could also do throttle out wrist lock if I wanted to break his forearm, torsion style. Here, I can actually cause compound fracture. Okay, real catch wrestling, real double wrist lock. Real double wrist lock, by the way, is we're kind of in the habit of always grabbing here because the MMA gloves, you can't really grab the gloves, hold the gloves. So typically, and just in general grappling, when someone's sweaty, you can grab the notch with your middle finger here to hold locks, top wrist lock, bottom wrist lock, arm bars, whatever. Better grip is grabbing the four fingers, grabbing the hand, rotating out here. Yeah, look, he's already getting wrist lock, and I'm gonna take the hand to the back to his armpit. So, better lock, okay? So anytime I can torsion out, here, much tighter lock. Look at that, just into his armpit. Okay, so all kinds of different ways of doing these locks. Okay, now if he grabs his hands together or shorts together, besides just ripping and yanking, if you got his grip together, let me get the grip first, and he puts his hands together, I'm gonna go old catch key lock. Kung Fu, arm weave. Boom, grab my own triceps. Now I could finish the same way as before if I'm a little beginner or just in a hurry. Put your foot up and take it to the back of the head. More experienced and a tighter lock, if the guy's just super, super strong and tough, I can go here and kind of sit out my hips, do Kasich Gatami, hip out to the side, sit on his face if need be, and then this way. So it's the same lock. It's an old catch key lock or a double arm weave. It's very, very tight in here. So one more time, I'm in here, he grabs to defend. Instead of spending all day, if the guy's really, really strong, just go here, Kung Fu. Kung Fu, weave in, boom, nice and tight. Grab your triceps, grab behind the elbows, make everything tight. I can post up and finish, or I could sit out. Okay? And really, on bigger guys, I can even sit out a little more with my hips to the sky. So there's the old catch key lock. Another way of doing the double wrist lock is, hey guys, chill over there a minute. Another way I like is grabbing, posting, and in one motion, power motion on the balls of my feet, push and drive him to his side, pinch his head. So one power motion. Post, push, rotate, pinch. Now, the main important thing with this is don't let him get his hand to the front, because then there's a fight. He grabs his clothing, he grabs his hip bone, he grabs his hands together. Yank, 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 it's hard. You gotta do this and practice it so you get his hand behind his back, behind his hip bone. Also, you see everyone doing this. If they post the leg up, this is a crappy lock. I haven't even isolated his joint, let alone his body. So if I go this way, rotate your legs out, yeah, or you can clock the other way, walk your legs the other way, walk out. You see all that range of motion? Too much space, too much space. So the right way is to pinch his head. Grab this, small banana to the back. You'll see people teach this. He's pretty flexible for his size. Smaller guys are even more flexible, like Coyle Gracie. They can touch the back of their head. Don't take it out like this. People teach you here. For certain motions, certain places, I do like to isolate the elbow to my chest and take it out this way. But as a general rule, small banana to the back of the head is going to be the best on both big, small, everybody. Okay, so small banana, curve, half moon to the back of the head. Okay? If he did defend, if he did here, yeah, he's got his hands together. Again, don't just yank, 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 yank. Pull, yank. So clear it. So I'm going to push down and then yank up. Don't fight the grip, especially if he's got an S grip. Don't fight up, down, up. Break it here. Ooh. Okay? From there, there's neck cranks, there's head scissors. Depending on where my legs are, it's always going to be different. I can possibly just grab in here and get the legs here, and I can kind of here my legs, and I'm going to pull his head forward. Okay? So I can head scissor him this way. So we're fighting here. Sometimes it depends where my legs are. I can rock up on him, maybe get my left calf. I just got my ankle underneath his head. I can post here, and then I can cross my legs, and then I'm gonna like triangle, pull his head in this way. I could go the other way. And get this from both sides, this side and on the other side. So I'm here, pinching his head. I'm gonna ride his face with my knee and shin, drive his face to the ground. And then I might be able to just put my elbow into his ribs and clock out his head this way like a neck breaker. So his head scissor either direction, possibly. And it's always gonna depend where your legs go. So I can scrape his face, boom, here, and then put that elbow into his ribs, and then clock him out this way. Sorry. Okay, above and beyond that, sometimes when I'm gripping this, and I'm fighting, I'll just, instead of fighting the grip, I'll just fall to my side and try to put in the neck scissors, leg scissors on the neck. Choke him right here. See, I got his throat, I got under his chin. I'm still fighting this grip, actually. I can pull that elbow to my ribs and then put the knees together. Just one more time on that side. So we're here, post up, boom, we're kind of end up in their scramble. He's coming up on a single leg, and I'm trying to power him back down. Don't let him come on that single. I'll just fall to my side, loosen up, get that in his neck, leg scissor choke. Okay, couple more from here. You can always transition to the armbar, right? I got my Kamura, aka double wrist lock. Grip, of course I can slide or post up and go to an armbar. He's nice enough to let me get an armbar there. Sweet, cool, awesome. So of course I can go to that armbar. Maybe I transition to the armbar and he's a fighter like he is and he's a strong guy like he is, and I go for it. And I'm here, and now I'm yanking, I'm trying to get your hands together. I'm trying to break the grip. And I can't break the grip. And I go for the armbar, but it still doesn't break his grip. I decided to go for it anyway. Ugh, shit. Now we're still in an armbar fight. And he didn't break his grip, right? Okay, so right away, I got the bottom wrist insert, so I'll do bottom leg. Usually on an arm scissors, you'll do top wrist, top leg. Even though other people don't teach that. Usually, except for this situation, you do top wrist, top leg on an arm scissor. But in this situation, the bottom wrist is inserted, so I'll do bottom leg. Do bottom leg, arm scissor, compression lock, bicep slicer, there. Now, what other people teach wrong, even good instructors, and some of you will kind of figure out eventually who I'm talking about, have a nice DVD set out, but they teach this. They teach, and they come way out here, okay? Now you don't know this move, but watch this. If I'm trying to arm scissor you, step your leg, crawl your body this way, and I'll arch your hips up to this guy. Oh, he just almost broke my elbow in our straight arm bar. So people teach that wrong. Okay, so anyway, again, I'm on the double wrist lock position, and I switch up to the arm bar, but he doesn't break his grip. Boom, I'm going for an arm bar, Take this, over, here, triangle, pull. Don't fall way over here though, because there's an armbar counter waiting to happen. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. The only other way is a rocker promote from half guard, rocker double wrist lock from half guard to double. It doesn't take strength. Just quickly here, I grab the half guard again. I'm gonna rock him, put it behind his back, rock him, put it behind his back, rock him, put it behind his back, and he submits himself with his own body weight. I do the same thing sometimes from side up. So sometimes I'm here, and he's defending whatever. I'll do the same thing, and I'll just kind of take it, I'll rock him and take the hand to the armpit, up into the armpit, as I talked about before. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe. I'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks. But I also drop, not only pressure this way, but I drop my shoulder in his throat. You're still going to get him. This doesn't help at all. Half a second, if that. It don't. Point, shoulder down. Most strong, most powerful way of head and arm triangle choke. Go outside, this way. This one here. Drive. So this one this way. This one goes this way, arm goes across. Shoulder, pointo, down. Okay? Down. Right. So, you see many people this way. No good. Clock, jiu-jitsu way, too much space. Too much space for escape. Always hip to hip. So, here. But this makes big power here, because this can drive power source. Then here, shoulder down. If I can't attack the high line, just like in striking, guys, what do we learn with that cut kick? You attack the low line. You know, if something's being blocked, go somewhere else. You know, attack where the defense is not there. Flank the guy. You know, attack from the back. So if I, having trouble choking him, he's just hugging me, so I can't get the arms, I can't get a double wrist lock, anything. You can elbow strike this guy this way, grab his thumbs this way, and I submitted him with one arm. But in reality, he was tough. He wouldn't tap in a fight until I added the second arm, and then I broke him. The elbow is on the shin for leverage. I'm at the top of the toes for leverage. I pull and push. It depends where it ends up. The other hand can support, and it's there. Now I also get this in half guard. Here is to open it up. See, last time he put his leg down, so we ended up a little, this will be a little worse for him this time because he didn't leg down. Drag back, triangle. So I'm on a Turk. Hip this way, elbow this way, okay? And then this. I'll take that as a tap. Yes.
So even if you were to let his foot go, you could still jam his ribs?
I'm sorry?
Could you still swing on his ribs, even though you had his leg loose?
To punch him?
Yeah, when you got him stretched out.
You're gonna tap to your head.
Yeah, you hit a guy whenever you want to. You got control. That's the whole point. You're controlling the man with body weight. You're controlling him with dominant position. You're on top riding the guy. You want to beat the heck out of him? Sure. If you got a somewhat submission, but it's not a full submission, you're still in a compromised position. Yeah, I'm always looking to elbow guy. Okay, I'm always. So again, here, maybe I'm under here, maybe I'm here, maybe I'm here. Doesn't so much matter. Okay. Here, draw back. There's the hip lock. And if I want this too, then I get this lock too. If I do both at the same time, that's fine. By the way, this position's happened fairly often in passing and stuff. I've seen this about 4 times recently in MMA. I think once in Bellator, once in UFC. Okay. And guys are hitting from this position. You pass in the scrambles and stuff, weird positions happen. Well, you might be able to hip lock from there. Okay. So that's even like a certain way of passing. So that position, this position does happen. It's reverse even, here I want it because he's this way. But if he comes back this way, and I'm working ground and pound, here, I might just decide I want that $30,000 or $60,000 submission bonus, right? If you want to set up the crucifixes, don't be laying on his belly. You want to be laying across the nipples. This is the most important thing, especially in MMA, to get it and re-get it and re-get it if you need to. So I want to be riding side mount high on his chest. Now I can get it straight from side mount, or if I want to set it up, I can go to Kazori Keisagatami a little bit, a sit-out position, modified Keisagatami, Kazori Keisagatami. Probably the best way is to have this underhook and go to the trap already. Put the palm to your behind your head or to your forehead, whichever style you like to do. And then it's just about stuffing his arm. Go to his wrist, stuff it, knee staple over it is what you're gonna see most of the time in MMA. He's just gonna knee staple here, and I'm laying heavy across the chest. And then ground and pound is very, very big. Now, to get TKOs in MMA, what you wanna do is go heavy, 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 fast, 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 heavy, 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 fast, fast, fast. When you got the energy, you're gonna do the face palm elbows. You're gonna put your weight, cover his mouth smother. It sucks for him anyway. Drive your weight up and drop the elbow. Drive your weight up and drop the elbow. You put your weight over your shoulder, boom, and drop. Let gravity do all its work. Drop all your weight, boom. So that's what you do. Do 3 of those in MMA, bam, 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 and then go fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then maybe you do a stretch out rear elbow. Don't hit the back of the head, but hit that ear, the jaw, that's okay. Do some rear elbows, and then go heavy. Stretch it up, heavy, heavy, and then fast, 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 fast. Okay, that will get your TKO stoppage like Sarah McMahon got in the UFC. Jesus, Crucifix, everyone. You know, a lot of people have done it. Again, I can just go here. I'm heavy in here, and then you just stuff it sometimes the elbow or the wrist. Stuff knee staple over. A lot of times right off passing, look for that and keep this heavy here. Now the way I prefer is to kind of set it up, lay across his chest and Kazori Keisagatami. I'm very, very heavy across his nipples now. Okay, here, stuff, step over. Now I rock forward and use my forehead as a post. Pull this wrist, forehead as a post, and pull the wrist to the butt. Triangle my leg here so I'm deep behind his elbow. This is much harder to escape because it's all about getting the elbow out. So once I'm here, I really control this guy. Number 1 submission. Lock down the 4 fingers, drop body weight. Even good guys you can still get with something as simple as that. Okay? Now, you can also work on the arm. Okay? So maybe the trap top wrist lock, he tries to get his arm out this way. Yeah, that way, boom, boom, and I got a top wrist lock here. Okay? Okay? Or roller lock. Or a throttle, top wrist lock, break his form. Okay? Get a compound fracture that way, real catch wrestling. Double wrist lock, straight armbar. Maybe you're fishing for it. Put that elbow on the ground to get high fulcrum. Not very high percentage. Dan Severn did in Pride once. But you can get the guy to tap right there where it's going to break. Maybe he rolls out of it, boom, and I go to a double wrist lock. Kamura. Okay. All from the Crucifix. Besides that, I made up my own choke. You can see video of me teaching it to UFC fighter. For all the ground and pound, if it was MMA, you're going to hook the back of his head and lift it. So if his head on the mat, come in here T-Rex style, hook the back of the head, lift it, come over, triangle, suck that up, get your leg in here. Now I can kind of crank his neck a little bit and then start to work on the arm. Any of those same arm bars work. Straight arm bar, top wrist lock, or double wrist lock. Okay? So, from here, here, hook, come over, triangle, switch my arms there, whoop, there, my double wrist lock, okay, straight arm bar, or top wrist lock. And Chris Lytle got one of these in the UFC years ago. Kind of a dual submission there. I really like it. Lay across the chest, guys, that's the most important thing. And basically, that's all the stuff. Obviously, the better position is sucking up that arm, but a lot of times you can just pass. Guys are very open and just stapling that, especially in MMA. I pass, I go to punch him, he covers up, boom, yeah, cover your fist. Don't do a cover like this. So I start doing this kind of thing, or here, boom, right there. Okay, so this opens up. I can just stay heavy here and get my hits. Boom. Okay? So old school style, Jeremy Horn style, cover that mouth, put your weight on it, and drop. Put your weight on it, drop, drop, drop. Bum, 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 bum. Rear elbow, heavy hit, heavy hit, heavy hit. Fast, 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 fast. Boom, done. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. If I have this arm, what I'm going to do is maybe post or something like this. I can push him away. I'm going to bring this knee in and turn it in to spin. Lift his head, sit on his face, his neck, here. Then I try to grab, insert here. Okay, don't get very deep. Now I got deep. This is already a choke. I can go ahead and roll over my shoulder to the right. Pull him on top. It's a triangle. To this even more. Well, when you get the top mounted crucifix position, whether it's just here or with a pin, but usually I'm here and I try to suck it up. Look at my video on combination dual submissions, top mounted triangle with working this arm. I'm here. And let's say I'm working the top wrist lock. And now he straightens out of it. Boom. So now I bail on this. All I got to do is unhook my triangle here, lock on the leg, on my legs on his arm. And then I can go spin it down into here. Sorry. Okay. Lift. Insert. I'm pretty good right here, right? Bum, 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 bum. Grab here. And I can even probably choke him just by framing down. Or one more, triangle, and it's really nasty. There. One more from there. Okay? Let's get a different angle of here. Maybe. So, MMA, boom, modified, beat him down, stuff, step it over, downward elbows, rear elbows, palm the face, boom, dang here, suck this up. Now I really got the crucifix. I'm trying here, he straightens out, down, suck it up, here, maybe noogie him there, get some punches, some elbows, here. If I want to mess with them, insert, choke them there, or really get it deeper as you're rolling over, or before, triangle, and this is what you're doing at the end to make a lot of pressure. Hopefully on his neck the last couple times, his combination, his neck and his jaw. But trust me, everything hurts, right? Everything's very tight and crushing in. I want to give you guys today. Okay, arm trap. Under the head, a lot of times I'm here. You take the hand that's under the head and trap the armpit. Turk him on his side a little bit, then punch his face in. Anyone remember that in a UFC fight?
That was Brock Lesnar versus Frank Mir.
Thank you, sir. Exactly. And boy, great jiu-jitsu guy getting beat up. Bam. Well, I might want to submit the guy too. So for leverage, I start creeping this down towards his elbow. Now it's a lat stretch. Okay, it's in the muscles in the back. He probably feels nice and tight. That's not enough. Bicep forward, forearm forward, neck crank, and lat stretch. Let's say he was flexible, which he's not, ladies and gentlemen. Left foot. Here. Trap here. And now, I don't even have to use arm. I can just use shin.
Then how to polarize them.
Shin. And then if I want to work the arm the counter way, or I wanted to work the arm, you know, if it ended up this way in a straight arm bar, I can go here. Well, I'm looking for other opponents for combatives. Okay, one more here. So, remember this one? Here, okay? Under, armpit. A lot of times maybe you're trying to fish for this, you know, you're fishing up high, but you can't get anything. Bam, 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 bam. Chicken wing elbows. Okay, if they're allowed. Here, stretch that boy. Here, neck crank and lat stretch. Need more. Trap. Here, and now it's just knee in. Okay, neck crank. Go ahead, tap. Go ahead, tap. or yell or whatever. See, just in the armpit. If you wanted to go straight in on our bar, you could. You know, I had a guy do that in a jiu-jitsu class right now online after he saw a video of me teaching this. Maybe the neck crank's not allowed in a grappling tournament, so you're just to here, and then you're setting up the armbar, maybe, on the near side armbar. Okay, so you can use things in a flow. So let's do the windshield wiper neck crank very slowly, and then let's do the trap to here. Pretend to bash him a little bit, slide it down. Realize I can stretch this way back, might get the tap. Forearm, elbow forward, might get more like the neck crank. Both at the same time, that's one I go for. Here, and then if you want it, you need to stretch up. Okay, work this, work. Okay, go guys. Very careful in the neck crank. Chest to chest. And I'm trying to submit this forearm with the top wrist lock, but he's a strong guy with a straight arm bar, but he's a strong guy. So anytime it's up in this upper quadrant, I'm gonna palm strike, bam, come under this head and go here. Now I got good leverage to jack him up on his side. There might be the submission right there. I can put this towards the back and put my elbow joint forward and my forearm forward. So it's kind of a neck crank, but mostly I'm working on the lat stretch there. I'm gonna hurt his lat area, his lat muscles. So I'm here. Now, for the rack or the stockade, I can go top leg, which I used to do more. I'm starting to play with bottom leg. I can go bottom leg over, boom, put it into his stomach. If he's squirming and trying to turn belly down and stuff, I can take this knee and grind it in the middle of his back. All right. Now from here, great ground and pound position. He can't defend the punches. I have his arm checked. I can get a lot of leverage, okay, to get the TKO stoppage. So in and of itself, this is great. Sometimes I can grab this leg before I even mount this foot over. If I happen to like get a weird takedown position, I get the guy's leg. I might have this in here. If I got this overhook arm on the leg here, I can work on his knee and his hip joint there and get a break there. I've actually hit that twice live, not on the best guys, but I've gotten it. So it's possible to get that sideways knee bend and some hip action in there. Mostly that's usually it from here. But you could potentially still get a neck crank here. S-grip and bring his head forward. Do something like this. Okay, not as good as the top leg. But maybe I do that in order to put the foot here and come to this position. Now, this is not fun for him. It could go anywhere in a triangle. If you got long, skinny legs, could be a leg scissor. I could go here with his face to get a leg scissor. Okay, I can go here and neck crank him like a wrestler's guillotine twister. I can still get the straight armbar. Okay, if he bends and defends a little bit, just like any other armbar position, I can go Rudy Garami style. I'm gonna have to pinch right here, elbow up. Okay. Let's see, what else could I get from there? I could maybe stretch this arm back. If I can catch it, I can go here and do a stretch. And I'll surfboard stretch style, pull this until he's ready to tap. See, I could go with my whole back and rip his muscles out, okay? Or I could maybe switch my feet position. Boom, really fast. Ninja style, scissor choker this way. On the neck, and I still got the arm break here, by the way. Got the arm bar. I could reach, if I had long arms, reach behind here, grab the top of my toes. If you had long arms, you could reach behind here, grab the top of your toes, and also help get leverage for that. Kind of a scissor choke on the arteries. So that's with the bottom leg. Now the top leg I've been using a long time. I'm in here, I want to make the guy uncomfortable. I'm fighting over this, whatever. Palm strike, underhook the head, boom, jack him up on his side. Okay? And let's all, but what if you're a small guy and the guy's really heavy? I'm glad I just thought about that. So what if he's a 300 pounder? What if the roles are reversed? If he wants to look cool in front of everyone and get me in the rack and put me in the neck crank, in the stockade. Well, it's going to be a little hard if I know it's coming to jack me on the side. Well, you could always do this and the referee won't see it even on the mat. You could grab the fat, little he doesn't have a lot of fat like I do, especially on a big guy. You could do this and push the palm down to the ground. That'll turn him on the side really fast. Now, in MMA, you're going to often want to just close a fist and put that on the ground to keep the guy there. The good connection between the MMA glove, friction, and the ground. Top leg up. I can post on him, put pressure on his rib cage. That'll probably make him tap right there. Step over, sit back. Now, I didn't land quite great, so I'm going to take my fist, push his chin up, and now leg scissor. Choke, combination armbar. And again, you could do all this stuff. Again, I can pull this in, pull this down, pull it up, push this in. I can go over here, I can do all this stuff again. And I got the arm bar, even if it's bent, I can break it sideways in the armpit while I'm leg scissor choking him, dual submission style. So, you see that that's a lot. And you can always bail out and come up and do a bicep compression, arm compression there with your legs and body weight, and come back in a mount and all kinds of stuff. You know, see I got, that was here. Here. I can do a gooseneck wrist lock there. I can come on top here. Okay? Just when you're bailing any armbar. So that is the rack. That is the Stockade. I hope I hit most of the stuff there. There's a lot of stuff available. For MMA, what's important is that you are completely crucifying the guy, putting him in a crucifix, and tying him up so you can beat the hell out of him with punches. In a grappling tournament that allows all submissions, a really cool grappling tournament, you've got all kinds of submission options available. People have written to me online on another video I did years ago at a seminar. Even if you jack the guy to here, even if you're a JiuJitsu guy, and it's IBJJF, and it's not allowed, don't crank the head for it, but you could still be looking to get, you know, like a short armbar on the guy. You know, you could still climb over here, boom, boom, boom. You get an armbar and armpit, you can transition out. You could still transition to a jiu, you can tell me. So, don't abandon the position just because you're like, oh, well, neck cranks aren't allowed at my school. Be very careful with some of the twisty stuff, the lat pull stuff. I hope you got your neck crank position. So windshield wiper or Howdy position. Talking about specifically for MMA, but also grappling. Anytime I can tie one or both, better yet, both of his arms up or get him on his side, if I can isolate his defense, I can punch him in the face, elbow him in the ribs. If it's not MMA, I can choke him out, neck crank him, submit him, armbar him, whatever the case may be. So look at all these positions. Don't just look at mount, side mount, all the typical positions. Look at these advanced positions where I'm on top with gravity, but I isolate his arms. So there's two ways of getting into the Howdy. Number one, the windshield wiper, you can just do from side position. From side mount. Anytime I'm under here, I could be up here, I could be hammer fisting with MMA. What you can do is I can just weave under this arm and come here. And now he's trapped. So just from an MMA perspective, I can hammer fist the heck out of his face and try and cut the corner of his eye with downward hammer fist and cut the eyebrow right here. I can elbow him in the ribs. And it's really exposed because the way he's bent right now a little bit. So I can try to break his ribs here. But when I do this weave right away, what I attempt to do, so like if I swim under here and get all the way under, right away I try to neck crank the guy. And you'll see I don't tap a lot of guys out in training with it, but I put it on for a second and then I let it go. But you can just, here's the windshield wiper neck crank. So number one, I'm under here, or maybe I'm in reverse kesa after passing. So I go to reverse kesa for a minute, or I'm down here after passing, and I slide up on him. Or maybe I'm playing with a reverse toe hold. And he's defending, he's up here, I weave this around, and I go to the neck crank. Okay, if the neck crank's not there, he's a tough guy. If he was bigger, muscular, strong, and tough, I'm gonna put this under the head. Now what I do is I'm gonna chop, chop, chop to take up the slack, and maybe I can choke him. Or, if that's not good enough, I switch to a reverse kesa, chop, switch back, chop, chop, takes up the slack, and there's my choke. Sorry. So by chopping, karate chopping, shuto, on the ground, it's gonna take up the slack for this choke and get things tighter. And I get that from my friend, Dennis Hallman, who's won a lot of MMA fights, like over 30, like 25, 30 submissions. Great submission guy, Dennis Hallman. So if I'm here and you want the choke, or you're at a jiu-jitsu school, no neck cranks, you switch to reverse kesa. You chop, it takes up the slack. Chop, chop, and there's your choke. Drop your weight, isolate them, as always. And don't forget, you can elbow and work on that eye. Hammer fist there, punch, elbow the ribs and hurt his eye and try and cut him. Now another way of getting into this position is from this kind of Kesa-gatame sit-out position. Now even if he's good and he's defending with his arm in the side here, if I'm underhooked here, I like this kind of sideways T to or TZ position. Underhook this arm for ground and pound, or you can sit out a little bit, but not a huge sit out like judo. You don't need to. Just ride him up here heavy on his chest. And now I'm working ground and pound, right? Maybe stuff opens up from there. If that's not good enough, I can work ground and pound by doing, so keep this in. I can work ground, or you're defending here. I can work ground and pound by coming up here. Okay, I put this foot over the head, and now I'm going to punch him behind the leg. Yushin Okami, and I think Akiyama were doing this. Up here, if he takes it off, whatever he does, see this way, then I can Howdy. If he does this mostly just this arm, he puts that out, well, easy into the leg staple here, and I got the top mounted crucifix, and then here, okay? So it's a great position. If it's just grappling, there's no MMA, no hitting. So whether I have under this arm, which is a better position for me to be riding heavy on his chest up here, and then I got the kesa, okay, all this. But if he's defending, he's a jiu-jitsu, let's say not hitting him. He's keeping this in tight to his ribs. I can still ride up on him here. I can even suck under that arm a little bit. I can yank it, pull it up, and get this knee under his shoulder. From there, I put the foot up and see if he reacts. So I can go to all that Howdy, neck crank, and choke stuff. But if he doesn't, and he's just chill there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift his head, and I'm going to try to put his chin right there into my knee pit, and triangle. And there's a kind of a leg scissors / triangle head choke. So, and this is the end. So here I am, and kind of get from different angles. I'm going to put this here, and if he doesn't react, eventually I'll suck this up, and I'm actually trying to get his chin to my knee pit there. And see, there's an actual triangle because he put his arm in, so there's an actual triangle there. But if that arm's not in, it's just a head scissors. So leave this arm out of it, so here. So if he doesn't put that arm up, I just go here, right? Now don't pretend you know what's going. We're done in a second. Here, boom, I lift it. Here, I triangle. I go off at this degree angle, at this weird angle this way, and I lift. And there's my head triangle choke or head scissors. So if I'm using, especially if you see how I'm using ground and pound, or I'm flowing into these positions, or putting on that windshield wiper upon passing, I'm looking at the legs, and he's shoving me maybe down towards his hips. Sometimes I can come up here and see I go to the Howdy, and then I go to mount, and I go to the choke. Or just to end here, let's say I can't finish the Howdy, I can't finish the choke or the neck crank. Maybe this elbow is a little bit here instead of deep. So if I can't finish it, I can always mount this guy. Okay, I can still ground and pound. Or I can start to come here and transition into gift wrap, the other video I filmed tonight. So you can transition into the gift wrap position. So know that if everything else fails, or your arms gas out, fatigue from lactic acid, you can go to the gift wrap position from the Howdy and do all that stuff. Or Katami, taught to me from Ryan Bowe, taught to him by Mishima, okay, in Japan. Mishima does this one, and something else you can play with from Sidemount. If you have his head hooked, you're going to do the same type of setup. You're going to strike that leg, underhook or weave your arm in here, and then I'm going to bow and arrow his head and his leg together. Then I'm going to crunch him sideways. Okay, Cobra Katami. Underhook of the head, so like if you had an arm maybe, you can strike this, weave it under, and then bow and arrow him sideways, doing a sideways crunch, his head and his feet together, compressed. Alright, let's try that one out. Start killing guys in side mount. Position, swim, reverse arm triangle, or Howdy position. I get him here. I can neck crank or choke him, but I want to do funny. So with student, I go, ticka, 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 ticka. My special technique. Flexible guy, you go sideways, their leg, and so it's really funny. So special technique, if I can get Howdy position, I go in here, reverse arm triangle, Howdy position. Choke, neck crank, okay, mini technique. Then I go, Mishima, Cobra Katami. Mishima, Cobra Katami. So that sounds special setup. Funny. I'll show you some north-south attack series, something I haven't really filmed before putting them all together. North-south submission attack series, Catch-Jitsu.com. Thank you for subscribing. Okay, so north-south position. Go to your back. Lay on your back. On your back. Okay, so I'm off at north-south. First off, I'm going to do a dragon sleeper neck crank. I cover this guy's hips. I reach back for the neck. I got kind of an overhook here. I put my hands together. And I draw his chin is underneath my, under my kind of shoulder blade area and armpit, and I draw him back. And there's a nasty, nasty neck crank. Always try to do this if it's legal, if it's allowed, before you switch to a north-south choke. So I'm in here, whatever, I got his head, bam, pummel that in, get deep on the head, and ribs, of course, like a north-south, tight to his head, put this together, and now I'm drawing back on my toes. And what I'm doing is I'm making a fulcrum and I'm drawing the neck back this way. Submission number 2, he didn't tap to that, man, that's tough F. I'm gonna, if I got it, work to get his head in the right place, his chin in the right place, clock choke and normal north-south choke. Arm in, arm out, doesn't matter. Just do your regular north-south choke. If you have trouble finishing him, because he is so tough, then you go to X-block, X-Pac style, north-south choke, okay? Jeff Munson style. Do a double X here, and I can clock him out, and I can choke him. Okay, so here, I got this. I'm gonna raise these fulcrums even higher, pass this one underneath, double X style, kind of neck crank and choke combined. Oh man, he still didn't tap. Okay, what do I gotta do to this guy? We're moving around, he's scrambling, he's moving. Okay, cup and saucer. Grab like a 10-finger guillotine, grab a chin strap. Here, and just put your weight on top of it. So simple, everyone forgets it, high percentage. Just cup and saucer choke, switch off, get this chin, and then it's like a 10-finger, 5-finger guillotine. All my body weight, I'm just dropping him, just putting it in place. He's not really gonna feel threatened by this. And then bam, my body weight's there. Okay? Submission, next submission, number 5. I'm gonna come on up here. Okay, I'm gonna come on up. Knee on, neck, artery, body weight, sucks. Again, and this was used by Phelan Fox to win a fight. Here, come up, post this up, put that sucker in there. Okay, then we'll switch. So that's your main 5 series, your main attack series. To show you other stuff I occasionally hit from north-south. And I do have other videos on these other 2. But if the guy is grabbing tight, he's got like a double overhook on you, okay? And now we're kind of stuck in this 69 north-south position. What you can do is you hook behind an elbow, okay? Hook behind an elbow. Grab a hold of me, your hands together, okay? If a guy's grabbing, he's being too strong, see if you can hook that elbow good. And then I'm gonna swing my hips around. Boom. Break his hold by leaning back. Here, cover his hips. And look, bent Udi Garami, top of wrist lock, elbow breaker, shoulder thing. Right there. Look at my leg position. So I'm controlling his hips. I like to get this hook on the inside of the knee as well. Now, I have to frame his neck out to stop him from coming up. If he tries to sit up fast, he's a guy with quick reaction skill. No, don't bridge, just sit your body up. You're like a sit up. Your head up, sit your head up, sit your head up, head up, head up, head up. Yeah, just frame his neck back down. Just put that on his throat. That'll stop him from sitting up. One more time. He's grabbing around me too tight. He's just a hugger and a survivor. Grab it. Hook around that elbow. Bam. Coming out here. Okay. or here. Yeah, if I can't get him with all those chokes, those first 5 chokes, if you work him in a series, it's just going to grind on the guy. He's going to tap eventually to one of those. I'm going to, especially if the guy's here and he's about to bridge. Yeah, he's doing all this stuff. I can't finish him. Break that lock, work on his neck a bit. And here, then Russian cowboy. Bam, collect. And yeah, see, I got full double knee bar. I can take this one, knee bar with heel hook twist. I can take double. I can take single. I can do toe hold here, here, here. So, Russian cowboy, 2-on-2, double knee bar. Here on his neck, for whatever reason, or rounds ending clapper. I can't get the choke, 10 seconds left, or grappling tournaments finishing. Leapfrog, collect, fall towards his hips, put the feet in the butt, heel in the buttocks. Knee bar, but I always do my knee bar with a heel hook with the head as well. Double knee bar, okay. Toe hold, here, okay. Pass, single knee bar, nasty armpit, grab here, bam, toe hold at the same time, dual submission. Okay. So, anyway guys, a lot of north-south attacks. People don't know, or they know the separate moves, but they're not chaining stuff together, just like my front headlock Schultz series. Chain your submissions together. Start with that dragon sleeper neck crank, go on your north-south chokes, still not there, cup and saucer, knee on face, get nastier, and know what you can do to the arm and legs as well. I hope you enjoyed it. Catch-Jitsu, please subscribe. Thank you very much. Catch you on the flip side. South choke. Okay, you can clock him and choke. That's an arterial choke. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. You can do that with the arm in. A lot of jiu-jitsu guys do it with the arm out, and clock and choke. Nothing wrong with that. But for years, I've liked doing the cobra neck crank. If I have that arm in, I like to just pinch down with this elbow here. And now what I do is I get his chin underneath like my armpit and rib cage area, and I sprawl and draw back. Okay? And what I'm doing is not nice, right? Okay, what I'm doing to Scotty is I'm taking this wrist and I'm keeping it under his neck to raise his neck. I then take my ribs and my armpit area and I pull up on this and I draw my body weight in a sprawl back like this. Okay, while I have his arm. So I'm in here, I pinch, and then I draw back and I neck crank. So sometimes I do that, I get the guy, sometimes I do that, he's really tough, then I switch to a north-south choke. But I get a lot of people with this, I call it a dragon sleeper neck crank. There's also a way you could actually kill the guy and break his neck from there. I won't teach it to you. I've seen it attempted in MMA about 2 months ago. The guy did not get it. It's so dangerous I haven't taught it yet. But it's similar to this, and then a way that could actually go kaput. Okay? But this won't kill you, probably. You just put pressure and it'll tap out. It just hurts. So here, I'm deep on his neck. Everything's deep and take up the slack, just like all your other chokes, okay? I'm going to pinch this just like the Schultz. Hands together, gable grip, scroll back, and I got his chin trapped. Hey guys, DanTheWolfman here, Catch-Jitsu.com. I'm showing you a new cool series from Sidemount or Kazuri Modified Keisagatami to north-south submissions you have never seen before. I'm talking 5, 6 submissions, plus maybe more depending on his reaction. Okay? So, if I'm in Sidemount, all I need is Sidemount head and arm. I need an underhook here. Once I get this established, I switch my hips to Kazuri Keisagatami with the T to RT, not a big sit out. Here. That way it's also good for MMA for ground and pound. Now I'm sucking them in here and I got this trapped good. All I do is I take a big step here to north-south, pinching his head, and I got a judo style elbow crush. From there, if you manage to roll the arm out, there's going to be a double wrist lock, power double wrist lock Kamura right there. Okay? Or I'm here on the elbow crush, and then I'm going to transition to the pretzel twist of the belly in, pinching your knees, twisting him here. Then I'm going to go to this, boom, suck it in hard to your chest, and it needs very little. He's tapping when his arm's by his belly button. Okay, when his hand's by his belly. It's not way out here. I'm sucking it in, and now it's power. I can just break this sucker bad right here. From there, I'm gonna hook in here, behind the tricep, behind the elbow. I might attempt a wrist lock here because I'm trapping the elbow by my hip bone and my belly. Then I go to an armbar, new style armbar. I have a whole video on it. Biomechanically lifting the shoulder with my foot, combination dual submission, armbar and choke, where I'm way far off the mat because I'm lifting the shoulder with my feet. I could also, if for whatever reason, I could have chosen to transition to an armbar on this side as well. Okay, so you could choose which side to go to the armbar. All right, let's do it again from a different angle. Yeah, that's fine. So now come over here because you changed. Okay. So I'm here. Head and arm, side mount, here, slide in, and I'm here. This is a choke. It's a really choke pressure point, but it's actually really a choke, and the elbow is going to submit before I'm near the back. It's higher. I'm biomechanically lifting the shoulder. It's a better submission. Okay? So now go on this side. It's fine. Stay over here. So I'm here. Come to this side. That's good right there. Here. I'm going to sit out to Kazuri. Boom. Here. And transition. Boom. Elbow lock. From there, I might go, if he rolls it, I might go to the double wrist lock. Boom. From there, I go to the pretzel twist. From there, I might hook in here for the arm bar, and while I'm going for it, I go for this. If he starts to move away from that, here, I could decide to just break his shoulder and elbow this way. If he starts running, guys, look, boom. I could also go for stuff like leg scissors here, screw with his neck. If he really starts rolling out, I might transition to the leg scissors on the neck and an arm bar here. All kinds of submissions are available coming off of this. I want you guys to see that. Depending on his reactions and what order I decide to hit the submissions in. So I'm giving you like, I don't know, 9 submissions. The first 6 or 7 is a whole series. I'm here, step, boom, 1, here, sorry. Pretzel twist, power double wrist lock. Right here is already tapping just from sucking into my chest. Boom. Here, I could just go right to the armbar right away. Here, or go over the wrist lock. I'm gonna go to the armbar right away. Here, choke, armbar. You tap to the choke even before the armbar. Now we check it both at the same time. So I'm lifting this and I'm sucking this in. I have a whole video on the biomechanically better armbar. One more time. Head and arm. Boom. And I made shoulder popping. Boom. Sit out. Transition. Hit that submission. Bam. Here. Power wrist lock. Boom. Double wrist lock here. Or boom. Pretzel twist to here. Or hook in here. Go for a wrist lock. Okay? If you start yet, go ahead and start defending. If he's running away from that, I can still break his wrist from this angle. I can still break the wrist and the shoulder because I have the elbow isolated. As he's running away, I can counter crank this way. Okay? I might be able to head scissors him. Okay? I could transition all kinds of stuff here. I can put my knee down on his face, then head scissors him. Sorry, real neck breaker there. Then I can come back to my arm bar, or I can come in with like scissors choke, and I can play with this arm while I'm choking him. I can arm bar this, I can arm bar this, here. I can work all kinds of stuff while I'm here. Okay. So, you guys see there's a whole lot of stuff here. We're going to call this my north-south, transition to north-south cool thing. If for whatever reason I ended up here and all these submissions didn't work, which this one should, if nothing else works, then I can always just go to north-south. Then I won't go over it. Then I got a dragon sleeper neck crank. I got the X north-south choke. I got the cup and saucer choke. I got the knee on throw.